Well, hi there, and thank you so much for joining me today. On today's recipe, I will be making velvety sun-dried tomato and mushroom pasta. So, let's kick things right along, and here are your ingredients. If you are going to replicate this recipe and you're missing either one of my ingredients as you're seeing here, feel free to use whatever you have in your kitchen. Thing about food and cooking is you can experiment, you can have fun with this, so feel free to remix and freestyle. And here we go. So start off by chopping up your garlic into super fine pieces. Here's a quick tip. Whenever you're using garlic in any of your recipes, always make sure it's finely chopped. There's nothing worse than eating food and just tasting a massive chunk of garlic, so you always need to make sure it's finely diced. Now you want to grab your mushrooms, remove the stem, and start chopping them. With the mushrooms, you want to chop them into nice chunky pieces. There's no reason as to make them chunky other than the fact that I just think they taste so much nicer like that. And here you want to take out your fresh pastaria, or you can buy your shop-bought pasta, or you can make it from scratch, your choice. Grab your sun-dried tomatoes and then start slicing them up into nice pieces. You can feel free to make your own sun-dried tomatoes. To be honest, it is super simple. It's just that I am a hard-working millennial. I just never have time to make these things, so it's just easier for me to buy the shop-bought version. And there I have my Japanese 5-spice. And now let's get to cooking. Start off with your butter. Add 3 or 4 teaspoons of butter into your pan. Let that melt down. And then you want to add your garlic into the mix. So just to get as much flavor as I can into this recipe, I added some of the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes in with the garlic, and then added some salt. You want to stir these base ingredients first, and then you want to add your mushrooms. Drizzle some of that spice and keep on stirring. As you know, mushroom does sweat, so make sure the mushroom sweats out, and then when it's nice and brown, add your sun-dried tomatoes. Now you have to try this recipe and just experience a beautiful fragrance that would just be covering your entire kitchen. This one is just perfect. As you can see, I've added my mascarpone cheese. But you can use cream as an alternative. It's just that personally I do feel like mascarpone has a nicer flavor for this. Once you stir that all together, you want to drizzle some water slowly into the pan. Now guys, even if you are not vegetarian, this recipe is a definite must try. I can guarantee you the fragrance that will be covering your entire kitchen is just simply divine. Now here's the thing with added spice, it is optional. Personally, as you know, I do like a lot of flavor in my food, so I'm adding a bit more spice and then a bit more of the mascarpone cheese to make it extra nice and creamy. And then you want to drop in some of that Parmesan, how corny is my Italian? You want to add some Parmesan cheese into your pan. And keep on stirring. You should have a nice creamy sauce and a beautiful aroma all across your kitchen. Drop in your fresh pasta. And nice and gently give that a stir. Make sure it is nice and gently. Give that a stir. Honestly, if only I had smell-o-vision, you guys could just smell the beautiful fragrance that was just filling up my kitchen at this point. Simply divine. And now we're nearly at the finish line. Stir one more time, and then we are just about ready to take it off the hob. And now I'm going to walk you through plating this recipe. Mount your pasta according to your serving portions. And then you want to add on top your sun-dried tomatoes along with those gorgeous mushrooms. Now, the beauty of pasta is you do not have to be so precious about your presentation, as long as it's centered, and also add some Parmesan on top. And then for something green, get some basil. However, I did not have basil in my kitchen at this point, so I'm going to use coriander. The drizzle was actually the sun-dried tomato oil just to tie in everything together. And now it's time for me to have a taste. Genuinely, this is one of my favorite vegetarian recipes. A definite must try. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and coming up next we have sour green noodles with katsu prawns. Thank you so much for watching my recipe tutorial. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.